And welcome. So today we are going to discuss about the most important topic, which is criminalization of politics. So let's get started with the first slide. So criminalization of politics, it is a burning issue these days because what it makes lawbreakers become lawmakers, and temple of democracy, these are parliament and legislative assembly. So what criminals entered into these, and corruption resulted into corruption and bad governance. So let's start. What is criminalization of politics? Over the years, if it has been seen that MLAs and MP with criminal charges tried against them have increased, because if we see the past record in 2004, there were 24% MLAs and MPs who faces criminal charges against them. In 20 to 29, those are no 30%, and in 2014 there were 34%, and in 2019 a record 43%, and among these 43%, 29% are those who faces very serious criminal charges against them. So this thing is mentioned here. So with these thing we can understand that number of criminals are increasing in our political system and government system. So background, talking about background, in September 2018, Supreme Court faced a batch of pleas raising a question whether lawmakers facing criminal trial can be disqualified. The case public, and there was a case which was Public Interest Foundation versus Union of India, heard by Supreme Court. So after that case, Supreme Court issued some of the guidelines. We will talk later about that. So now coming to the next, what does constitution say on this? According to the prevalent law, the what the lawmakers candidates are banned under the Represent of People's Act 1951 from contesting election under after their conviction in a criminal case. In Lily Thomas case 2013, the Supreme Court said that any MLA or M convicted with a minimum of 2 year sentence will lose their seat with immediate effect. Yes, this is the good law that after conviction they will be disqualified. But what about the pending cases? There are many pending cases in court, and in many cases there was no conviction after many years. So this is the most important setback in this system. So, and along with these, nowadays election commission asked the Supreme Court to direct political parties not give ticket those candidates with criminal background. So the Supreme Court is answering no and reviewing that. But I will talk about, should there be stricter laws? The malady of criminalization has plowed Indian policing independence, but imposing strict laws poses a dilemma. How? If anybody is not convicted, and if we stop him to fight election before conviction, what happened? There will be a problem that of false cases. Any opposition party could place false cases, and that stop him to fight election. So conviction is important. So with this we can do many things like establishing fast track court, and we should do we should treat criminal cases against politician early by setting a fast track court, and with this we can set a long disqualification period plus great fines. So conviction is more important than the criminal charges. So Supreme Court, what was the guideline of Supreme Court's 2018 case between Public Interest Foundation versus Union of India? So Supreme Court said that it is issue is out of legislature from the Supreme Court, but if we say Parliament did a little to do in this matter. So nevertheless the Supreme Court, despite being out of its jurisdiction, gave the following direction: each constitute candidate have to fill up the form provided by what Supreme Court said that if a candidate fighting election from a party and there is a criminal case against him, so what the political parties do, they have to inform publicly on their website portal, news portal, and anywhere they make aware public about that. And one thing they do also, that they provide reason that why this person fighting the election. But what's happened, the candidates and political party did not adhere this guideline, and the guideline that don't comply with this guideline, and election commission was also failed to comply the guideline with them. So the Supreme Court also mandated the lower court to set up special court MP appellate and deadline within 1 year, but not this was not done so far. And if we talk further about that, what is the conclusion? So in the light of the above information, it can be seen that every scenario possible has already been looked at, that after conviction we have disqualified the person, but the Supreme Court has always has held up constitution and the integrity of our country by standing the directive of candidates. The legislature however are again disappointment. The legislature should enact laws for the directive given by the Supreme Court, but thing is yet to be seen. The judiciary also needs to buckle up to it. So what things need to be done, the judiciary have to set up special court with a deadline and finish cases as early as possible, as well as parliament have to direct some laws, have to make some laws. And one thing more, to the current days, if anybody convicted, there is an appeal period. In that period the convicted will not be disqualified, but in this period even the convicted will be disqualified and long disqualification period will be given. So next we will talk about who is responsible for it. One, first factor is political party. As I talked earlier, given tickets despite knowing truth for own interest. Yes, political parties are given ticket despite knowing the truth and hiding information. Yes, this is the most important thing. Not abiding guidelines. Yes, this is the most reason. And the second responsible voters, we, first is awareness. Yes, they are not aware about their rights. Second is casteism, they don't see that who is the candidate, who is a criminal, see, they just vote on the caste. Second is party, the same with the caste system, that they don't see the candidate, they see only the party. And third is ignorance, that they don't have any clue about that. So you have to decide which is the most responsible for it. And at last I finish my video. Thanks for watching. Like and share, subscribe. Next topic will be coming, that is most important one, also reservation, so don't forget to ask. Thank you.